Yo, what's going on everybody? This might be a totally different video, but I thought I would just pair up some shoes and tell you a little bit about why I've never actually got into trainer selling. Since 2012, I've been all about vintage and secondhand clothing. In the last few years, I made it a bit more of a conscientious change, and albeit forced change through COVID and Brexit, to adopt more of a sustainable approach. Now, I know that sounds like I've been disingenuous to being sustainable, but over the years, the last few years, since probably about 2017, 18, I realized the importance of what I was actually doing. So look, let's just take a little look at some of these shoes. So first ones first, these Polo Sport ones, right? Now, this is one of the biggest things that I notice about trainers like this, is the wear on the back, okay? There's like big sponge coming out of it. These are Polo Sport trainers. I don't know the value of them, but I know that the restoring might be needed. And honestly, with clothing being a big part of what I did, I think the territory of clothes to trainers is massively different. And there's a big reason that I didn't take a jump into trainers. One part of it is, and with all due respect, the hype beast culture of the trainer approach. That's not those that sell it, that is those that buy it. That's one of the reasons why I didn't get involved with the trainer situation. And it feels like with trainers, there has to be a lot more of a presence on trend, much more of a presence on what's popular. But more importantly than that, the restoration required to fix trainers seems like a lot of effort. I know that sounds funny from me to say it, considering the amount of effort we put into everything else, but hear me out on that. See, when we wash clothes, or when we've got used to washing clothes, we've familiarised ourselves with the process of what we do, which is that we import clothes, we organise them in their colours, we get them washed, we get them dried, we get them measured, we get them steamed, we get them pressed, we get them brought up, we get them photographed, we get them put online, and we get them distributed. Now that 11 to 12 step system has been something that we've understood for the last 12 years now. I've understood it for flipping ages, forever. Not even bad on the back, just literally like a pair of trainers that just need a little bit of a restoration job. They just, you know, the bubbles are still intact, all that kind of stuff. Honestly, they sit in a similar ballpark as trousers and jeans. I do sell trousers and jeans, but what I mean by what I say is that for me personally, selling trainers comes in the same breath as selling trousers and jeans. I feel that personal preference with buying footwear, you have to understand what people are looking for from that trainer. See, I understand the things that can go wrong with a trainer. I understand that the fabric can come out from the back, that the soles can be pressed too much, that material can just rip and be torn and not be wearable. And I know that with most things, like any trainer seller will probably tell me right now in the comments, hopefully, is that most of the things can be fixed. I'm not sure how the gum sole would be fixed. I know that this could just be applying different fabric. There's a completely different system than what clothes has. That is one of the main reasons why I didn't get into it. The clothing industry and the clothing side of things was already like amassing all of my time. I like to be honest, hang on, I really hope I'm in the shot on this. I like to be really honest with what I do. People have asked me for trainers for the longest period of time, you wouldn't even believe it. Also, just a FYI, I've brought like a very small bag of trainers and half of the other ones are down there. So it looks like I've only got one of each, but I have got two of each. But it's mostly what I'm noticing about the secondhand trainers I'm sourcing is it's this on the back. A lot of it is the stuff on the back. And I think that that's basically a material situation. So to be honest with you, God, my leg from being on the floor is painful. You'll see the way of crouching tiger hidden spent a minute ago. These are some mocks, interesting little mock shoes. But the trainer situation, trainers, footwear, and the whole ecosystem of it. I believe that the process that you need to do to undertake being successful at it requires you to be devoted to being a trainer seller. And I think those that are trying to be trainer sellers and clothing sellers may fall into difficult ground unless you have this as a common feature. And when I say a common feature, I mean an attribute that you have that makes it make sense. If you like upcycling, repurposing, restoring trainers in the same way you like clothes, then it's the same process for you. For me, clothing was something that brought the attention to me. These Nike shields, really nice. One thing I like to do is not say things that I can't do, is to just accept what I don't really want to do. And I don't really want to be a trainer seller. That's something that I don't really gravitate towards personally. However, you might be totally different. These are two different trainers. These trainers, the bits on the gums are coming out of the back. Could they be restored? I don't know. What's the value of a trainer like that to somebody? I don't know. Trainers is a different ball game to clothing. And anybody that tells you it's in the same strokes is completely not speaking truth. I don't know how to say that. Like, they are two different capacities. Maybe people who are successful at selling trainers may understand specific brands. For example, if you sell Nike, you might be a Nike specific trainer seller, but also a Nike outlet clothing seller. So it might make sense in that capacity. Trying to sell all different types of items, all different kind of products and all this sort of stuff just leads me to believe that I think there's a complete difference between being a trainer seller and being a clothing seller. If you knew somebody who could fix the fabric on them, it comes down to that same thing. Take 10 pairs that have the same fault, find somebody who's got like fabric and got a sewing machine. They could probably just add and embellish the back of it as long as the shape is still the same. I think with trainers, this is the thing, it's shape dependent. As long as the shape is the same on the shoe, you should be fine. But again, don't quote me on it. I'm interested to know your thoughts on this one, guys, and I hope that you like these current videos. I have got some really exciting stuff planned, and I'm just getting myself hyped up and prepared to shoot them and show you them because there's some good things on the way. If you want trainers, you may be able to buy them from me. I buy them as a means of the fact that I save items every single week. If you like trainers like this, I have a kilo listing on the website. Is there if you want to for now, but I have got somebody who wants to buy all the trainers off me, and that is somebody who is a trainer seller. So this is what's made me think about it a little bit more, is sometimes you got to let people who are in that field to do that, and you focus on what you are, like you focus on what you're good at. I made a point before about focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. I know that if you're on your reselling journey, you might be like, Spen, I hear it, but I'm curious by what trainers could do for me. You have to be curious, you have to know. What happened for me is that I started with clothing and clothing worked straight away. So I gravitated towards what was successful and ran with that and scaled that. Whereas you might be somebody that's not scaling at the moment right now, but you want to see what's going to work. And I commend you to do that because that is exactly what you need to do in order to know what's going to work for you. I am just one guy from Loughborough in a little village in the East Midlands that is here to let you know from what I've learned in the last 12 years. Guys, for everybody who's on the journey so far, I appreciate it so much. This YouTube is something that I really, really sleep, breathe and eat. And I know that I'm late to the party in comparison to when the YouTube party really began. But look, YouTube, I do want to do this and I am here ready to be the person for the YouTubes. Anyway, enough waffling, I'm out. See you in a bit, dudes.